The movie starts in a busy nightclub where Cassie seems very drunk and alone. A group of three men notices her. Two of them make rude jokes, thinking they could take advantage of her, but the third man, Jerry, is different. He offers to help her and asks if she's okay. When Cassie can't find her phone, Jerry offers to give her a ride home, but then he changes his mind and takes her to his apartment instead. Cassie doesn't say anything, and Jerry thinks it's okay to go ahead. At his place, Jerry gives her more alcohol and starts to make moves on her. Cassie is still pretending to be drunk and tries to lie down. Jerry keeps going, thinking she's okay with it. But then, Cassie suddenly sits up. She's actually sober. She calmly tells Jerry to stop, and he gets scared. It turns out, she had been pretending the whole time. The next morning, Cassie walks home. Her shirt has red stains on it, but we don't know what caused them. She writes Jerry's name in a small notebook that already has other names in it, showing that she's done this before. Cassie lives with her parents, and when they ask where she was, she lies and says she was working late. They don't believe her, but don't ask more questions. At work, her boss encourages her to aim higher because she has a lot of potential, but Cassie brushes it off, saying she's fine where she is. However, her actions suggest that she's not really content with her life. One day, an old classmate named Ryan comes into the cafe, and they start talking. Ryan seems nice, and they go on a date. On another outing, Cassie goes through her usual routine again. She pretends to be drunk and meets a man named Neil, who talks a lot about a book he wants to write, but pressures her to do drugs and touches her. Once again, Cassie reveals that she's sober and makes him face what he was doing. She's not aggressive or violent, but she forces these men to stop and think about their actions. She has been doing this for a long time, confronting men who think they can take advantage of women when they believe no one is watching. At home, Cassie looks at an old photo of herself with a girl named Nina. We don't know what happened to Nina yet, but Cassie talks to the photo as if she's still close to her. Later, Cassie and Ryan go on another date, and we learn that Cassie was once a top student in medical school. Ryan asks why she quit, but she doesn't answer. At the end of the night, Ryan invites her up to his apartment, but Cassie feels uncomfortable and leaves. The next day, she visits him again and says she wants to keep seeing him, but more slowly. Ryan agrees, and they seem happy about it, laughing and joking. Later, Ryan talks about an old classmate, Madison, who recently had twins. Cassie pretends not to remember Madison, even though they used to be close. Ryan also mentions a man named Al Monroe, who is getting married, and Cassie doesn't seem happy to hear his name. From her reaction, we can tell Al is connected to something important in her past. Cassie's unease is clear, but she hides it from Ryan. As time goes on, we start to realize that Cassie has a deeper reason for acting this way. Cassie continues her quiet mission for justice. One day, she looks up Al Monroe online and finds a post about his engagement. She's upset when she sees that Madison commented on it, saying how happy she is for Al and his fiancée. Cassie quickly shuts her laptop, clearly angry. Cassie then invites Madison to meet her at a restaurant, planning to get her drunk while she stays sober. As Madison drinks, Cassie keeps the conversation friendly at first. But as Madison gets drunk, Cassie steers the conversation toward Nina and the bad event that happened to her years ago. Cassie was hoping Madison's view of what happened might have changed over time, but it hasn't. Madison still believes Nina was partly at fault for what happened, saying she wasn't trustworthy and had a reputation. Cassie is disappointed and frustrated, so she decides to end the meeting and leaves the restaurant. Before she walks out, she gives a man at the bar a hotel key, money, and some instructions. We don't know exactly what will happen, but it's clear Cassie is trying to make a point. She wants Madison to understand how terrifying and confusing a situation like that can be. The next morning, Madison keeps calling Cassie. In her voicemails, she sounds scared and confused. She says she woke up in a hotel room and doesn't remember how she got there. She's worried that something might have happened to her. Cassie listens quietly but doesn't respond. She marks Madison's name in her notebook, showing that the first part of her plan is done. The next target is someone named Walker. Cassie starts setting her next move in place. Cassie tricks a young girl into thinking she's a makeup artist for a famous boy band. The girl is excited and gets into Cassie's car. Once inside, Cassie locks the doors, and we realize something is off. Cassie then goes to her old medical school and meets with Dean Walker, the next person on her list. The dean seems warm and polite. Cassie asks if she remembers Nina Fisher, but the dean doesn't. However, when Cassie brings up Al Monroe, the dean remembers him right away and speaks highly of him. Cassie then tells her that Al raped Nina at a party, and the school ignored Nina when she tried to report it. The dean tries to defend the school's decision, saying there wasn't enough evidence and it would ruin AL's future. She also suggests that Nina's drinking at the party made the situation her fault. Cassie doesn't get angry, but calmly points out how wrong it was. Cassie then says that the dean's own daughter is in the same situation now, in the same dorm room where the assault took place, and she's drinking with a group of boys. At first, the dean doesn't believe her and tries to call her daughter, only to realize that Cassie has her daughter's phone. The dean becomes desperate, asking for the room number. Cassie reassures her, saying the daughter is safe and just sitting in a diner, waiting to meet her favorite boy band. The dean finally admits that she might have made a mistake all those years ago and starts to understand what Cassie is trying to show her. Later that night, Cassie returns home and finds Ryan waiting outside, showing that their relationship might not be as simple as it seems. Cassie and Ryan were supposed to go to the movies, but Cassie had forgotten about their plans. Ryan is patient and understanding, telling her they can do it another time. However, Cassie soon goes out again for another setup. She pretends to be drunk with a stranger, but unexpectedly, Ryan sees her. He realizes what she's doing and walks away, clearly disappointed in her. The third part of Cassie's plan involved a lawyer who helped Al Monroe by shutting down Nina's case years ago. Cassie visits him at his home. To her surprise, the lawyer remembers Nina and admits that he feels guilty. He tells Cassie that his job for years was to ruin the victim's credibility. He would find things online, like pictures of them drinking, to make them seem unreliable. He admits that what he did still haunts him, and he's been unable to sleep because of it. Cassie, with tears in her eyes, forgives him. Later, Cassie visits Nina's parents. While we still don't know exactly what happened to Nina, her mother gently asks Cassie to let go of the past. She tells Cassie that she wants her to heal and move forward with her life. Cassie seems to take her advice seriously. That night, she looks at a Facebook event for Al Monroe's bachelor party, her final target. But instead of following through with her plan, she deletes her Facebook account and throws away her notebook full of names. She's ready to let go of the past, or at least, she wants to try. Cassie decides to make things right with Ryan, so she goes to him and apologizes. She promises that the things she did before won't happen again. Ryan doesn't accept her apology at first, and Cassie walks away. But soon after, Ryan shows up at the coffee shop where Cassie works. He asks her out, and they share a sweet kiss. A cheerful montage follows, showing Cassie and Ryan spending time together, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. Their relationship grows stronger, and Ryan even meets Cassie's parents at dinner. Though it's a little awkward, her parents seem to like Ryan, and he keeps the conversation light and friendly. Later, Cassie and Ryan finally admit their love for each other. Everything seems perfect, but this peace doesn't last. One evening, Cassie comes home to find Madison waiting for her. Madison seems anxious and wants to know what happened when Cassie confronted her. Cassie explains that she didn't hurt Madison. She just brought her home and left her in bed. The whole point was to teach her a lesson, not to harm her. Madison is relieved, but then she shocks Cassie by revealing something important. There's a video from the night Nina was assaulted, filmed years ago. Madison gives Cassie the phone with the video. Cassie watches it and is horrified. The video shows Nina being assaulted by Al Monroe, and in the background, Ryan's voice is heard. He witnessed it and didn't do anything. Cassie is devastated. She immediately goes to Ryan's office and plays the video for him. At first, Ryan denies knowing anything about it. But when he hears his own voice in the video, he panics. Cassie demands that Ryan tell her where Al Monroe's bachelor party is taking place. She threatens to expose him if he refuses. Ryan, now scared, gives her the address. Cassie then prepares for the final step in her revenge. She dresses as a nurse, applies makeup, and heads to the remote cabin where the bachelor party is happening. The men at the party are excited to see a stripper. None of them questions who arranged it. Al seems unsure at first, thinking his fiancée wouldn't approve, but he eventually joins in. Cassie offers everyone drinks and secretly drugs them with sedatives. Then, she asks Al to come upstairs. Once there, she ties him to the bed, pretending it's part of a fun game. Al talks about how he's a good guy and loves his fiancée. Cassie reveals her true identity. She's Nina Fisher. Al panics and realizes this is no game. It's a trap. As he struggles and calls for help, Cassie tells him that no one downstairs can hear him because they're all unconscious from the drug drinks. She demands that Al admit what he did to Nina. Al insists that it was just drunken fun and that Nina went along with it. Cassie tells him there's a video proving what really happened. Al finally breaks down and starts crying, begging for mercy. Cassie explains how Nina's life was ruined after that night and how she had to drop out of med school to support her. Cassie takes out a surgical blade and tells Al that now it's his turn to carry Nina's name forever. But before she can do anything, Al frees one hand and attacks her. He grabs a pillow and suffocates her. In a long, brutal scene, Cassie struggles as she's suffocated. This part of the movie is painful and real, lasting over 2 minutes, the time it takes for someone to die this way. It's the most heartbreaking moment in the film. Cassie dies, and we don't see her face again after this scene. The next morning, Joe, one of AL's friends, walks into the room. He's cheerful and clueless until Al tells him that the stripper is dead. Joe doesn't ask any questions. He just helps Al cover it up. They burn Cassie's body in a chilling scene. Joe even pushes her hand into the flames with his foot. Later, Cassie's parents report her missing. The police don't take it seriously, thinking Cassie, who has a history of emotional struggles, may have run away or taken her own life. A detective visits Ryan, who lies and says he hasn't seen Cassie in days. He doesn't mention the bachelor party or the video. The case is closed. Then comes Al Monroe's wedding day. Everything seems normal as the ceremony unfolds. Guests are smiling and enjoying themselves. But Ryan, who is also there, receives a scheduled message from Cassie. In it, she asks him if he really thought it was over. Sirens can be heard in the background. It turns out Cassie had planned everything carefully. Before going to the cabin, she had sent the video and the party location to her lawyer with instructions to take action if anything happened to her. The police arrive at the wedding and arrest Al for Cassie's murder. In her final message to Ryan, Cassie signs off with, "Enjoy the wedding. Love, Cassie and Nina."
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.